It is my pleasure to introduce Jonathan Cook, the Licensing and Commercialization Manager at the Idaho National Laboratory, Bob Westerveld, the Licensing Executive at the Sandia National Laboratories, Eugene Cochran, the Senior Commercialization Manager at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, Kannan Krishnaswamy, the Commercialization Manager at the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, and Jason Gale, Managing Partner from Cyber Capital Partners, to tell us about the Department of Energy's PACT program. Jason, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, Doug. Before we start, I would just like to thank the teams at the Department of Energy, Idaho National Laboratory, Sandia National Laboratories, Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, and Oak Ridge National Laboratory, as well as the internal and external team at Cyber Capital Partners for making today's event possible. Eugene, while COVID changed our approach rather suddenly, the global pause gave us the opportunity to reimagine the process of showcasing cybersecurity technologies from beginning to end. We had originally intended this to be an in-person event. Now that it is a virtual showcase, we have a broader portfolio of fantastic technologies, and we can solicit the input of many more cybersecurity market experts. I want to thank you personally, Eugene, as I know how hard you have worked to make this program successful.
Thanks, Jason. It has been great working with you and the whole team at Cyber Capital Partners, as well as my colleagues at our partner labs to make today possible. The Department of Energy is one of the largest supporters of technology transfer in the federal government. The Office of Technology Transitions was established in 2015 to oversee and advance this mission by expanding the commercial impact of the Department of Energy's research and development portfolio to advance the economic, energy, and national security interests of the nation. The office develops the department's policy and vision for expanding the commercial impact of its research investments, and it streamlines information and access to the DOE national labs and sites to foster partnerships that will move innovations from the labs into the marketplace.
The DOE put out a laboratory call to solicit different ways to improve technology transfer. This effort, the Practices to Accelerate the Commercialization of Technologies, or PACT for short, has three primary goals. First, to accelerate bringing a product to market. There are many proof of concept technologies that wind up being meaningful in our government's use but never see the rest of the US markets. Second, to bring in partners or other network arrangements that take some of the burden off the shoulders of folks like John. And third, to raise awareness of and increase access to the Office of Technology Transfer. This showcases one example of the PACT projects.
Just a quick overview of and background on the Department of Energy's research efforts. For everyone's awareness, DOE leads national security R&D, has 17 national labs. Customers often include DoD, the intelligence community, DHS, and DOE.
For this project, we evaluated over 75 technologies with more than $100 million of US research funding. The principal investigators behind these technologies have such an advantage over the entrepreneurs and technologists in the commercial world. They are making superior technologies because they have access to the country's resources, including the world-class cybersecurity offensive and defensive capabilities of the US intelligence community and the rest of the federal agencies responsible for protecting the United States from cyber attacks from nation states and other bad actors.
Our principal investigators and research scientists have access to the fleet of other scientists, engineers, and technologists, as well as the equipment and funding resources of the US government. The US government invests massive amounts in R&D, but only 20 to 30% of the created intellectual property is ever commercialized. As the United States and its citizens are actively engaged in a global cyber war, we seek to maximize every advantage we have. With this project and approach, more generally, we hope to provide the following: easy access to information, tailored review process for technologies, clear market insights, expanded resources, and high value with no cost to you beyond your time today. We're interested to understand participants' thoughts on this approach and if we might be able to use it within other technology verticals as well. We're here to help.
Before we get onto the technologies, I just want to thank you, the members of the audience, for joining us today, and I ask for your honest feedback. It is with your participation that we can prioritize the commercialization investment to make these technologies into real American companies. Is there anything else you'd like the audience to know about what the labs call technology maturity level of these proof of concept technologies and what comes next?
Yes, I think it is important to understand that these technologies have all been field tested or deployed in production by their US government customers, and that these technologies work. Some need very little to be deployed across multiple customers, as we see with Shadow Figments and CapSec today. Others will require further product enhancements in order to be customer ready, but these technologies can all be deployed with the assistance of the principal investigator and or an industry partner who can configure the tools.
Any US company or US citizen that is interested can be included in deeper discussions about individual technologies after the showcase. We welcome these discussions. Thank you.